Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, Airbus starts production on the first A330neo, U.S. skydivers dominate the competition, the airplane factory Sling 2 continues around the world. I'm Bree Cross. It is September 9th, 2015, and this is Airborne Unlimited. Airbus's first A330neo is coming to life 1 year after the program was launched, with the first cutting of metal underway at its production facilities in Toulouse and Nantes. The production started with the machining of the first engine pylon during the summer at Airbus's facility in Toulouse, while Airbus's plant in Nantes began production of the first A330neo center wing box. The A330-800neo and the A330-900neo are two new members of the Airbus widebody family, with first delivery scheduled to start in the fourth quarter of 2017. The A330neo incorporates Rolls-Royce Trent 7000 engines, aerodynamic enhancements, and new cabin features. According to Airbus, the A330neo reduces fuel consumption by 14% per seat, and operators can expect a range increase of up to 400 nautical miles. The United States Parachute Association reports that the U.S. Canopy piloting team met at the Unveiled Air Skydiving Center in Farmham, Canada, where it competed against an international field of 77 Canopy pilots. The USA's Nick Bach became the World Cup overall champion in a hard-fought contest, just ahead of Spain's Pablo Hernandez and USA's Kurt Bartholomew. In the speed event, the U.S. team swept the first four places, Bach in first, Justin Price in second, Greg Windmiller in third, and Ian Bobo in fourth. In the distance event, Cornelia Mihai from the United Arab Emirates became the first woman to win an FAI first category canopy piloting event with the longest flight of the meet. Bach took silver and Windmiller won the bronze. In zone accuracy, Bartholomew won all three rounds to clinch the gold. Fataroso earned silver and Hernandez bronze. Price finished fourth and Bach placed fifth. The 12-strong U.S. team occupied 7 of the top 10 overall places. After the break, after 16 hours over water, the Sling 2 lands in Taipei.
AML's patent-pending wireless induction charging system eliminates confusion over those charging cables, cuts down cockpit cable clutter, and allows you and your passengers to fly cordless and eliminate the cable nightmare. www.aviationmodificationleaders.com.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Welcome back. If you would like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, send an email to jim@aero-news.net. This could be called the story of the little airplane that could, as we follow the journey that started in Africa and is circling the world. The Airplane Factory has posted on Facebook that the Sling 2, flown by Jean Dassonville and Patrick Quang, has arrived safely in Taipei, Taiwan. The pair departed Guam and arrived in Taipei following a 16-hour flight over the Pacific Ocean. On the Journeys blog posted by the Airplane Factory, Jean wrote, quote, "Headwind was a little kinder on this leg, and weather up there was also less developed than the leg to Guam. I did a lot of reading, and Patrick remained very focused on the flying and used our comfortable fuel reserves to optimize our speed into the headwinds," end quote. The weather conditions in Taipei, Taiwan involve clouds and low visibility, and they were vectored onto an IFR approach. They wrote that another perfect landing by Patrick marked a point in the history of general aviation in Taiwan. With some 2,000 Aero-TV programs webcast to cyberspace, sometimes it can be fun to look back and enjoy some of the places we've seen, the flyers we've met, and the planes we've flown. Here's a look at one of our favorite Aero-TV classic episodes.
down the airport just checking out the sights and the hangars and what airplane was out that day, and there was this gentleman with this pristine Skybolt. It was beautiful. So I asked him if I could take a picture of it, and he said, of course you can take a picture, but would you rather go for a flight? And I was like, well, yeah.
In this 2012 video, you'll see why Rob Holland is a world aerobatic champion. You'll get insight about Rob's humble beginnings as an acro pilot, and you'll see him perform maneuvers that are, to say the least, not humble. Search Ultimate Airshows on Aero-TV's news channel. After these messages, Garmin introduces the GTC 580.
The KSN 770 is an affordable, WAAS-enabled integrated MFD with a flexible hybrid user interface from Bendix King. Get your fingers on the 770's perfect blend of touchscreen and hard buttons. Easily control your GPS navigation, Navcom, weather, traffic, and terrain in any condition. For more information, go to bendixking.com.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Now certified Aspen Avionics single-band ADS-B ATX100 and ATX100G transceivers are the next-gen ADS-B solution that provides the features pilots need while keeping flyaway costs low. Check it out now at aspenavionics.com.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. Garmin has introduced the new GTC 580 landscape touchscreen controller option, which serves as the interface between the pilot and Garmin's G2000, G3000, and G5000 integrated flight decks. It also provides standby flight display capabilities. The Hawker Hunter jet that went down during the Shoreham Air Show last month appears to have been operating normally prior to the accident. According to the interim report, 2 image recording cameras were mounted within the cockpit that produced viewable images. Boeing will pay some $90 million to settle a 10-year-old class action lawsuit brought by the Society of Professional Engineering Employees in Aerospace and 2 other unions. The issue was over health benefits and pensions. EASA has certified the new 533 500-pound maximum takeoff weight version of Airbus's A330-200 following certification in 2015 of the same weight A330-300. Certification from the FAA is expected to follow. The increased weight allows a longer range. Naval Postgraduate School Assistant Professor Timothy Chung met with members of the school's Advanced Robotic Systems Engineering Laboratory during a field exercise last month. The engineering laboratory flew 50 autonomous UAVs, breaking their previous record of 30 set just 5 weeks ago. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. Ben Kuroki had to overcome a lot of obstacles to fly for the U.S. during World War II. Not least among them was his Japanese heritage. Kuroki passed away last week at his home in Camarillo, California, at the age of 98, according to the Associated Press. Kuroki was the son of Japanese immigrants and raised on a farm in Hershey, Nebraska. He and his brother had volunteered for service in the U.S. military following the attack on Pearl Harbor, but was initially turned away. Ben eventually overcame the Army's policy that barred soldiers of Japanese ancestry from flying and eventually earned a top spot on a bomber crew flying 58 missions over Europe, North Africa, and Japan. He became the only Japanese American to serve on a bomber crew that flew over Japan during the war. Well, that's our program for today. Remember to get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily Monday through Friday with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. Please join us and a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news from the staff of the Aero-News Network. the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource.